right, so hopefully it looks right. I'll know in a few seconds when YouTube catches up with it. And here you go. Yes, it does. Excellent.
Yay.
So, good to see you all. Weird to be on YouTube again, but that's just what we're doing today because it is movie night with Matthew.
Good evening.
And so I see that you are all prepared because Thomas Potts spilled the beans that we're going to be watching the SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
So, to be fair, he often tries to give me these clues with emojis, and I almost universally fail at it. I'm like, I have no idea. Eggplant, crab, I got nothing here.
Mm-hmm.
And then just so happens this one time, I'm like, wait. Crab, squid, and a peanut or a sponge. I think that's SpongeBob. That said, I also think it may be an elaborate hoax that you and Thomas have put together, and it's going to be something totally different for all I know.
You are completely correct. It has nothing to do with SpongeBob. But the good thing about that is that I now know your disdain for SpongeBob, meaning that there will be SpongeBob in your future.
Oh, joy.
Yes. So thank you for letting me know how much you hate SpongeBob. Now, the movie we are going to be watching is one that you have told me in casual conversation that you have not seen. And
okay.
And so the interesting thing now, I will tell you that this is not a particularly bad film, but you know that my goal here with our movie nights is to rid you of your Kurogan brainwashing.
Marvel?
No, it's not Marvel. It's not a Marvel film. It's a cheesy movie, but not a bad movie. But the reason I talk about it is because now, like I said, we're trying to rid you of your brainwashing, and that's kind of at the core of this movie is the idea that an entire society has been convinced that they're living in a better situation than they actually are. They think they're living paradise when they're actually being oppressed. Now, a very interesting thing about this movie, it's almost prophetic in that it is one of the extremely rare films from the 90s that predicts a dystopian future run by a liberal overlord system as opposed to a harsh conservative overlord. So I thought that was actually kind of an interesting juxtaposition there. And then finally...
that's an interesting point. Because usually you get movies like
it's always like some big evil corporation. Yeah, it's always something big, evil, conservative thing oppressing the people. This one is not. This shows you liberalism take it too far, almost flawlessly. And the audience probably already knows the movie because most of them I know have seen it. But the interesting thing, though, is that there's also one little technical problem. Now, I never show you a movie that I don't legitimately own. And I do own the DVD of this film. But you also may know I don't actually have a DVD-ROM on my computer, so I couldn't just burn it to my computer to show it. So I had to find a way to download the movie using the app that you told me about, PlayOn, which allows you to download anything that you have a legit subscription service for, which is really an awesome program, but it ain't free. And so I used PlayOn to download it, but the only server I could get it from, while it is an unedited version of the film, so I did have to put some smiley faces in there, more than I was actually expecting, to be honest with you, a lot more than I was expecting, particularly of one particular character. But the interesting thing is that it actually has commercial breaks. Now, I was trying to figure out what to do there. And so, because, it fades to black when there's a commercial, and then it fades back in. And I was like, well, that's going to look really weird when it fades to black, because anybody that's seen the movie will be like, it's not supposed to fade to black there. So, I simply replaced the commercials.
Okay.
And so, But here's the beauty of, and this is where I think this is truly, no, Professor Ray 6, we're not on Twitch tonight. We're going to do the movie nights from now on YouTube, because Matthew is a YouTubey guy at heart. And I decided that I'm going to do all things Matthew will be on YouTube. So the adventures of Matthew Shortshanks and movie nights with Matthew will be on YouTube. So what I did was
that the CEO just granted herself the award of most free speech supportive person ever. So
yes,
YouTube is a place to be.
You're absolutely right. Yes, because they're so into free speech on YouTube. They never, they're not at all like what we're about to see in this movie. But here's where I was thinking, like, and this is like truly art in my opinion, or at least the closest I can come to art in my current condition, is, remember I said that this movie predicts a uber liberal oppressive future, right?
Yes.
So let's not forget that we kind of came from kind of an oppressive conservative past. And I found a few commercials that because commercials are just a reflection of the society at the time. So most of these commercials are quite old and would never air today. So I will warn you that some of these commercials are downright offensive. So just so you're aware. So I think it's brilliant that we're going to be watching a dystopian future where liberals are oppressive with commercials from an almost dystopian past where conservatives were oppressing. So I hope you're ready.
I'm on the edge of my seat for tonight. I have no idea what's coming. And your talk of the commercials makes me think of the X-Men comic where Beast asks Jean for a screwdriver and she hands him a wrench. And Beast responds, "Your credit to your gender, Jean." And the artist didn't mean for it to be a slight. He just messed up on the dialogue, or someone messed up on the drawing. But whoever messed up made Jean look like an idiot. But that's what I'm expecting here.
Yes,
these commercials.
Oh, they are bad. I will tell you. It's like the commercial breaks are almost more fun than the movie. I will tell you. And this is a fun movie. And that's honestly, as you know, and I know that everybody watching knows, it has been a particularly rough period of time for me. And I'm not trying to play the violin or anything right now, but honestly, there were some movies that are in the queue that we're going to eventually watch, mainly just to torture you. But I just wanted to have fun tonight. And so that's the whole goal here. I think you're going to enjoy it. I think everybody's going to enjoy it. I really hope you guys will join us in the screening room tonight, because it will be well worth it. So if you could put the link for the screening room in the chat, and I will pin it. And thank you so much. Indie Tiger puts in a $5 super chat. Man, I cannot thank you enough. I know I said it this afternoon, but any and all super chats that I get for the foreseeable future are going straight to the doctors, but I really, really appreciate it, because I'm going to be needing that, because I got that stupid surgery coming. All right, so tell me, does it show that it's pinned now? Because on mine, I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is. Okay, just popped. It was just a weird delay. All right.
YouTube.
Yeah, so please, you don't want to miss this fun. And by the way, there's also a new trailer that is going. There's 3 trailers on this one. 2 you've seen before. The 3rd is a new one that is going to absolutely make you dread when we watch this movie. Because it looks so bad, and I've watched them. It's bad. It's bad. So, all right. So, you ready?
As hell ever be.
All right. Let's get this ball rolling here and start her up.
All right, here we go. And clips for those who will not be joining us in the screening room.
A little loud on my side. I just had to turn it down. You can't beat a good film. That's why we're not going to show you one. All right. So, first one, you've seen this before. I just know you're looking forward to this one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the dinosaur kid guy. Who apparently wasn't that smart to begin with, eating a rose.
So, yeah, so the girl from Starship Troopers has a boyfriend who ends up sneaking into her house and then beat up by a bunch of hoodlums and killed by a lion. And then an insane doctor takes his brain and puts it in a robot T-Rex body. And that's actually a movie. That's really a thing.
I guess that logic holds up.
Yeah. And hey, Daniel, please, I know you're having a bad day as well, Daniel. Please come into the screen room and enjoy this night. It's going to be just plain old fun. We're going to check out and not get all upset about all the stuff dragging us down. Click on that link. We're going to have a great time watching a great movie with some really, really offensive commercials. So see, look, she's hugging a robot dinosaur. From Starship Troopers to Tammy and the T-Rex. What a career.
Did that T-Rex just flip them off?
It looked like it. Yeah, I think so.
You know, we talked about how in King Kong, all the work they did for that giant 50-foot animatronic with the fur and everything. They clearly did not go all out for the T-Rex.
Yes.
Propped up in the back of that truck.
And very cool. Donnie's working on a Rhapsody in Blue cover. Josh says, didn't you say you're streaming to torture him? Well, we're not really trying to torture Matthew. We're trying to deprogram him from his Kurogan brainwashing by showing him movies that will eventually reprogram his brain. Because they're going to reject the madness that is Kuroga. And Death Dealer reinstalled Diablo 3. Just so you know, you want to jump on. Oh, God, that sounds like fun. Keep an eye out on my Twitch channel. We might do that one of these days, is roll a new character in Diablo 3. Just for fun. I will tell you, Death Dealer, when Diablo 2 Resurrection comes out, I'm going to be streaming that a lot. Professor Brady says, what's the movie? You're going to see in just a few minutes. I promise you it's a good one. And you're going to, and it's also going to have some great commercials. But I don't want to spoil the surprise for Matthew yet. It takes place, here's a hint, Matthew. The opening scene takes place in the distant future of 1996.
Were we talking last week or something about how we should just make a movie that's set in the far off future of like next Sunday?
Yeah.
So that no matter when it is, it's next Sunday.
Here's your movie right here.
Another Kong? A Kong knockoff?
No, this is the sequel.
No. Oh gosh. Unbelievable. We gave it an appropriate amount of ridicule for the monkey in love with a woman and the woman seeming to reciprocate. But at least they had high quality actors, they had amazing cinematography, they had great music. It's like they said, screw all that noise.
Yeah, but they do have Linda Hamilton.
Wow.
I mean,
you
just
can't
the
be in only good movies, I guess.
The music, the acting, this like screams like it's an adult movie from back then. It's that bad, and it's just horrible.
You just expect some bass line to come in any second, and she's pregnant. Boom, 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 boom.
And yes, Daniel, that was the girl from Starship Troopers. All right, here you go. You ready?
Yeah. Oh yeah. What are we gonna see? Some sort of IST commercials and.
If we get a few more of those, he'll be under the table in no time.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, the first commercial. Flat tire needs a man, but what do you do when there's no man around?
Yes, you need a man. Red Hawk, thank you so much, my friend. Red Hawk just did a Streamlabs donation of $100. I cannot thank you enough. That is going, it is going to the surgery, but I will have a drink on you, my friend. So give me a minute to grab a glass. I'll grab one in a few minutes once we get the movie going. So yes, you need a man, or you need a good year. Don't worry, this is the mildest of the commercials.
Go on, give her a second chance. Wow. Because we know women can't drive.
Yes. Nor can they change a flat tire. All right, here we go. Oh no. The Hollywood sign is on fire. Los Angeles is burning.
So, usual weekend.
Yeah, I mean, really, this is not. This is just documentary footage of Los Angeles.
Wasn't that where? Is it not? Was it King? Was he the one beaten by the cops?
Yeah, Rodney King. That was in L.A.
Yeah,
South Central.
Yeah, so this is just normal riots.
Yes.
I don't blame them. I mean, not a great place.
And Captain Trek is here. Good to see you, my friend. Don't forget to click on that link at the top of the chat. You're not going to want to miss this.
Stallone? Is this a Judge Dredd movie?
Nope. This is the other dystopian future movie starring Sylvester Stallone with Rob Schneider.
Does it think it's a Judge Dredd movie?
Oh, no. This is... And yet, MLP is first to name it in the chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we talked about this.
Yes. This is Demolition Man, which is an original story as opposed to Judge Dredd, and it is a wonderful movie. I love this movie. I can't believe you haven't seen it, because this is an iconic film for the truth about liberal danger. Although this is completely stupid, of course. Because remember, back then, back in the early 90s, bungee jumping was a big thing. So... you got to have your hero bungee jump into the scene.
I mean, I remember wanting to go bungee jumping, and then I got like a couple years older, realized I was an idiot, and I like my feet on the ground.
So you can see that, of course, Sylvester Stallone is playing a super cop, right?
I mean, you kind of need to. When you have guns that big,
yeah,
you need to do something more than just have him be a desk clerk.
But like, look at this movie. This movie is just oozing with white male masculinity. Right? It's like,
is Stallone white?
Hey, he's Italian.
Okay. I guess whenever I think white, I think like
So you don't think Stallone is white because he's a T? So here you go, people. Live with Matthew says Italian people aren't white. Bird of Prey 5. Matthew doesn't think you're white.
I have a really hard time telling like where white ends and another ethnicity begins.
I know. And
like this guy on screen right now. What race is he? I'm not sure if I can figure it out. The guy with the white hair.
Are you? It's Wesley Snipes, you idiot!
Oh gosh, no, I can at least figure that one out. But no, like when you get that, like just the right shade of olive, like an Italian person has.
I get it. Yeah, I know.
Can't figure out
people from the Mediterranean sometimes. Yeah, you can wonder. And Valor throws $5 in.
Or are you? I'm like, are you 1/4 black, or are you just, slightly less pasty than I am?
Matthew. Now you see, if you were holding a blowtorch that close to in a room full of gasoline, it would have gone up. In fact, if you lit a match anywhere in that room with gasoline everywhere, it would blow up because gasoline, evaporates very quickly and is very explosive. Now, if it was diesel fuel, you could do that. Or lighter fluid, you could do that. But gasoline, no. And like that flame, no, the whole room would have just gone up in a fireball.
Yeah.
And so Valor puts in $5. Thank you again, Valor. Want to deprogram Matthew, then watch him nuke and Santa's elf named Kevin. They will deprogram him or make him crazier. I don't know if he can handle that.
Nuki and Santa's elf.
Yeah, that sounds horrible. Nuki.
Is that like an adult film? It sounds like an adult film.
And yes, you're right, John. Matthew's racism is well known. All right, so the black guy was holding hostages. All right, and Stallone was trying to get him, but they're not there. You following that so far? And so now he's bringing him out as the building blows up. By the way, that was an actual demolition. There was a building set to be destroyed, and so they got permission to film that and set off all the explosives with gasoline to make it a big old fireball.
Nice. One of those things where you gotta pray you get it right the first time.
Yes.
Don't forget the 3 seashells Death Dealer is.
Yes, you will love the 3 seashells.
Okay. It's not me this time that blew it up. That implies that it was him several other times.
Yes, it was.
I mean, I guess they don't call you the Demolition Man
unless you blow a few buildings up.
Yeah.
And Mercer, thank you so much. Puts a couple of bucks. Says, Ed, I had to get some air. Kelly, we're in space. Yes, it's a good old Orville stuff. And did you hear? So Wesley was saying that. Okay.
Ooh.
So it was
they were in the building.
It was a setup. If I says no, not an adult film, just a bad movie. Okay, we'll do bad, but not adult. So, yep. So now he's an accessory to the death of 20 odd people. Because, it's a cheesy movie. I know that legally that would never work, but,
I was just thinking he has qualified immunity, but in this day and age, I mean, and I think this is a good thing. Don't get me wrong. In this day and age, he might be thrown in jail.
If you could find that he was negligible, I could understand that. Like, if he could have prevented their deaths and knew about it, then yes, he should be held accountable for that. But in this particular case, obviously, he had no idea they were in there.
Yeah. Oh, Sandra Bullock. I remember when she was in movies.
This is actually a really solid cast throughout. It's a movie that's better than it deserves to be. Put it that way. As cheesy as it is, it is way better than it deserves to be.
I feel like we're missing out on not having detention facilities like this.
Yeah.
Like, our stuff is so boring. Here's some concrete. Here's some metal. It's a prison. We need to get a little dystopian if this is what we get with our facilities.
Josh, I'm not going to get into a political argument about the whole police thing, but just watch and enjoy the movie. Mercer, we watched the trailer for Tammy and the T-Rex earlier. You missed it. Sorry. First.
Oh, is that me?
Yeah.
Nice.
I changed the voice, so it's correct now. Yeah, we get to see a lot of quick shots of parts of Stallone. Yes, it's true. Matthew does advocate a dystopian prison system. He said it. He did say it.
It's true. You thought the commercials were going to be the most racist thing tonight. No.
Yeah.
Wow, they're really focusing on his junk.
Yeah, they are. And I didn't realize it because it goes by fairly quickly and it's somewhat blurred by the liquid and stuff. But
yeah.
No, you get full on these shots, like you see it all. And I was like, whoa, because I was going through it slowly to make sure. And I didn't realize you actually, bam, there's Stallone's little Italian stallion. You know, I was like, I wasn't.
Nice.
And yes, to Mrs. Andy Drinker, get your dinner at the 5-star restaurant known as Taco Bell. Now, let's not spoil anything. Don't spoil anything. Matthew's never seen this movie. And yes, Jesse Ventura. Jesse Ventura is in this, a very short role, but he is in this. And Sisters, I know the system automatically blocked it, but yes. Well, Sly did a adult film, which I actually have seen. Calling it porn is an overstatement. It really is. It's really, honestly, it would be one to enjoy watching with Matthew, because it's like, it's so weird. It's like people dancing naked randomly. It's just the weirdest movie. So I don't have it though, so I can't. But I saw it once a long time ago. It's bizarre. It's called The Italian Stallion, which it was actually originally called like Party at Rico's, and they renamed it to The Italian Stallion after Rocky came out to try and capitalize on it.
What did they call Rocky?
The Italian Stallion.
That
was his nickname in the Rocky movies.
Okay.
So you see, so he's being frozen, and his sentence was to be frozen for 70 years.
That's an interesting punishment.
Yeah.
It would certainly help make sure that you weren't with all your old mates when you got out of jail.
Well, and notice the cortical thing on his head. That's to kind of reprogram, kind of like what we're trying to do to you.
Oh. So you're saying I need to get like a little
oh, I definitely want to get you that. Yeah, I definitely want to get you
like a hair clip.
Yeah.
And
so now, I don't know if you saw, but it's 2032 now. So the distant future of 11 years from now.
Just, wow. It's insane how quickly time is going.
I know.
Oh, there is Snipes.
Yeah.
Be well.
Mm-hmm.
I can literally see this exact conversation happening in a real corporation. Like, okay, Form 3J says I have to ask this question.
Yep.
You know? It's like, what is the battery level on your device right now? We got rid of that device a decade ago, and you know it.
And by the way, just a nice little piece of continuity, which you miss. It's one of those blink and you miss it. That's the same guy that was the young guy that was putting Stallone on ice. They said,
okay.
So now, then he was just a prison guard. Now he's the warden. Oscar, smart, bad movie with Stallone. I've never seen it. I've never seen Oscar. But thank you for the $2, Mercer. I do appreciate it. Uh-oh. Is something afoot?
Graffiti?
Oh, watch this. Bam.
Huh. That's kind of some interesting graffiti. Politely gets rid of itself when it's done.
No. The wall was actually designed to get rid of the graffiti.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like there's someone in the society who's a little mean, but not that mean. I mean, I hate to seriously inconvenience anyone.
The Oscar is more like a play. I will check it out one of these days, Mercer. But we do have Tammy and the T-Rex in the queue for Matthew. He's going to love that one, I'm sure.
That. At least you're giving me this one today.
Yes.
I think a 90s movie that feels like it should have been in the 80s is at least enjoyable on many levels.
Oh,
this guy. Rob Schneider?
Yeah.
Is that him?
Yeah. Did you hear what he just said? If you prefer an automated response, please press 1 now. And Robert says, "What's the thing you got posted about Bible study once?" I didn't. Is that posted in the chat or in the description? Maybe, I don't know. But I am having one every Wednesday. If you send an email to the email address in the post, you can. I'll send you an invite. Of course she does.
How old do you think she's supposed to be right now? Like early 20s?
Yeah, early to mid 20s. But notice that is so, I mean, think about it, you're talking to HR. Thank you for the attitude readjustment. The information has been assimilated. Oh, she cussed, so she gets fined. Cussing is illegal. And yes, Deej, I am here. Good to see you, my friend. Be sure to click on the link if you want to have a great time watching Demolition Man with me and Matthew. Matthew's never seen it. Oh, that building was in the Orville pilot? I didn't catch that. So see, she collects stuff from the 20th century. She thinks that, you know, she's obsessed with it.
I wonder what Contraband Article 22 prohibits.
Everything in her room, apparently.
Pop-up snakes, just the worst. Cheesy samurai swords.
Yeah. So that's one of those be careful what you wish for kind of things. She just said if only we had some action. Because she's thinking about it like watching action movies. Oh man, I'm so jealous of you. If you're talking about the kind of gummies I think you're talking about, man, I want some. So now this is his parole hearing.
So he was getting off a parole, what, 40 years before Stallone?
There's a reason for it. Pay attention. You see, he's kind of... Here it comes.
Someone didn't do their software updates.
Or they did.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I was thinking like somehow he had someone on the inside 29 years ago that uploaded like a virus. But no, they downloaded into his brain with the
little brainwashing thing.
Brutal. Oh, that would oh gosh, that would just be horrifying.
Yeah, could you imagine going through that? And by the way, he is still alive.
I was gonna say it'd be non-lethal too, which might be worse.
Yeah. Josh says, do you want to listen to the classics on the radio, all those old commercial songs? Oh no, their radio station never. Don't spoil it for Matthew though. He hasn't seen this. CBD gummies are nothing. I'm talking about the real ones. Yeah, they don't even know what the code is. So they've never experienced a murder before.
You would think that someone like her would have that one memorized.
Yeah. And that's the last murder was 11 years ago from us.
From our
They said
like
2010.
us?
2010,
okay.
they said. So there he is.
And everyone's just sitting there, condition critical.
Yeah.
Maybe if it was less of a jerk, I'd be trying to help him. Someone retching back there.
Yeah. Computer's just like, yeah.
It's almost like people from the past were horrible. Who is that guy right there?
I can't remember his name, but yeah, he's in a lot of stuff.
So he is.
Yeah. So he was like, I think he was supposed to be like the helicopter pilot that was talking to Stallone at the very beginning. Now he's an old man. So he remembers when Simon Phoenix was around. Matthew was here when Bird showed this on his Saturday stream. Was he really?
No, I might have dropped by to say hi, but no, I didn't see it. Bird does his Saturday streams like right during Saturday, which is family time. Yeah. So no, I don't.
Would Star Trek describe be banned in this future for being too violent? Good question. That's a tough one because it does meet their political alignment, but yeah.
Is that guy in Fantastic Four?
I'm not sure which guy you mean.
Hold on, I gotta look up.
I don't recognize anybody from. If you're thinking of Michael Chiklis, no, that's not him.
Let's see here. Cast, not Wesley Snipes, not Nigel.
I don't think there's anybody from Fantastic Four in this.
Now, I was still trying to remember who the old black guy was.
Oh. I'm surprised you remembered he was black. Figured he was just Italian.
I took a good guess. I felt confident about that one.
Yeah.
Glorious.
Well, because now they know where he is, so they think they can just go and arrest him. Listen.
Bill Cobbs.
Proceed with extreme assertiveness. I love that. Morgan
I actually saw, like in real life, this past week, there was some altercation, and a police officer is like, "Everyone needs to disperse."
Different guy. No, it's not the same guy. I know you're talking about now. The dad in the new Fantastic Four. No, that's not him.
And like he was literally, his partner was literally getting beat down, and he's like, "Everyone needs to disperse. This is not a lawful gathering."
Look, the computer's encouraging him. Isn't that nice?
No, the guy I'm thinking of is Bill Cobbs, and I'm trying to think what I would have seen him in. Thank you.
So he can get into everything.
Oz the Great and Powerful is the closest one I think I saw him in. That was the one with Zach Braff, Zach Brandt.
What? Was he in Oz?
I think he was.
Okay. Oh, this movie has no dolphin. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, he was the monkey. Zach Braff was the monkey.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. So it's just a voice work.
Yeah.
So notice he's been I don't know if you're paying attention to this at all or just looking stuff up.
No, I of both.
So he was programmed to murder someone specifically.
I'm surprised they're not giving him a ticket for littering too.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it never gets old. By the way, this is going to continue through the whole movie. The cussing.
I love how they're clearly expecting just to walk up and be like, "Okay, you're arrested."
Demand maniac, lie down. Yeah, the black dude was in Enterprise as the old guy that was trying to recover his son.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
I love how everyone on the police force is young, except for Bill Cobbs, and he's just standing there in the background, like, "Yeah, go for it."
Yeah, add though.
Did they give Wesley a colored contact?
I didn't notice. So,
ouch. Let's see what they're about to do here. Ooh. At least that looks somewhat non-lethal.
Oh, don't worry, he's plenty lethal.
Oh, this music is such a blast from the past.
I love that.
This is literally the police force all done as community counselors.
Mm-hmm. And Professor Brainy Specs, thank you so much.
Yes, Anti-Tracker will be forced to drink on that.
He stopped.
You like his little fighting?
Professor
Thank you
Brainy
so
Specs,
much.
$10. Matthew must suffer for streaming today when I could not be around to watch. BTW help. I need rescued from Kuroga. Prayers and best wishes, Anti-Tracker.
Well, Professor, first of all, the rescue squads are coming from Turkestan. Second of all, yes, Matthew is a jerk, and thank you so much. And I will be right back. I'm still listening, but I'm going to grab that drink that I need.
Okay.
Keep in mind, he knows like everything.
And I see they still think their best course of action is just to stand here and watch.
Yep.
Now there is a design flaw. But I do remember when like the Teslas were first out, or maybe not Tesla, it's like a Prius or something. But tiny accidents could result in that kind of oopsies.
That's a little more than an oopsie.
An extreme oopsie. This guy looks like he'd be at home playing Julius Caesar. Or a Jedi. Those are some nice Jedi robes he's got.
They are some serious robes.
Oh, it's disappointing to see that by 2032 we're still under COVID lockdowns.
I know, they're social distancing. See, I told you this is a prophetic film. Oh, well, that figures. I grabbed everything except the glass. I have some very, very chilled Absolute vodka that I'm going to have here.
Very nice. Yes, Robert. Sith robes, not Jedi robes.
Oh, no. Enhance your calm. So, Red Hawk and Professor Brainy Specs, both of you, thank you. I do appreciate it, and I raise my glass to you. Ooh, that's good. It's Absolute vodka with a little bit of grapefruit.
Hmm. That was almost what Vader said.
Be well. Be well.
No. What the Specs guy said.
Which part?
It will be done.
Oh, yeah. The bald actor, I can't remember his name, the police chief. So now we're talking about how they caught him. Mercer says, I dated Sandra Bullock. Yeah. Typical cop from today.
The Bob Gunton, I think that's the bald guy's name.
Oh, the actor? Okay.
I think he was in he's in Shawshank Redemption. He was the warden.
Oh, is that what? Okay, I saw Robert said Shawshank Redemption. I wasn't sure why.
No, Professor, not you, Specs. Him, Specs.
Daniel says, when do we get to Demolition Man? Well, just a few minutes after we started. So now they're thawing out good old Stallone. I don't know.
No, it's just not the same without Chewbacca screaming.
Just like showing that shot for some reason.
I just imagine Stallone being like, or the director saying, now, Stallone, I want you to rotate a little bit. He's like, no, I want you to get this.
No, I'm pretty sure you can tell.
Good.
Let's just say, because I've seen, like I said, I did see that adult film. We'll just say that it's enhanced a bit in this.
Emerge saying he was also in TNG, not Stallone, but the bald guy with specs.
Well, I know Stallone was not in TNG, but
what episode of TNG was he in?
Not until First Contact, when they turned Picard into Rambo.
Oh, is that when he showed up?
Yeah. And Renegade said, I loved it. Well, Renegade, click on the link if you haven't already. Oh, yeah.
He was also in the episode The Wounded. He was Captain Benjamin Maxwell, the Chief's old captain, right?
Sisters just put that in there. Confirmed Anti-Checker thinks Stallone was in TNG. No, that's not what I said. A dissimilar method. Yeah, one that worked.
You say one that worked, but it was also
he was
quite
brutal,
the hard
but
cop.
yeah, he was brutal, but it was a brutal time.
The big one of 2010.
Yeah, you remember that,
See,
right?
that sounds like someone let one rip. It doesn't sound like a like a civil upheaval or something.
No, it was an earthquake. She just explained it to him.
LA, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, anybody living in California in the 90s knows that everybody was worried about the big one.
Do you mean homicides?
What?
That line, we're peaceful and loving and kind and frankly not equipped to handle this situation.
Well, she's being honest.
I see. Whoa. Caffeine is amazingly good for you.
This was made in the 90s.
Spicy is amazing. Pregnancy is illegal without a license. I wouldn't be surprised. I could literally see in real life Republicans making a deal that abortion gets outlawed along with pregnancy without a license.
Yeah, I can see that. That would be the compromise.
I do love the captain stripes.
I'm sorry, Professor Brady Chucks. I missed what you said. Ed is watching adult films. No, we're watching Demolition Man. I've said I have seen The Italian Stallion. It was a long time ago. And I did not know Sandra Bullock was named after something from Brave New World. I didn't know that.
Really? Oh, you mean her character? Okay.
Yeah. It says Twitch looks different tonight. Indeed.
It literally is COVID. They don't shake hands.
They don't touch.
They don't have physical contact. He's uncomfortably close to her right now.
Yeah. They're making fun of him for using toilet paper. And
I'm quite curious as well.
Yeah. Don't worry, you will never find out.
You got old.
Why does Shortshanks have a SpongeBob background? I don't know, Thomas. For some reason, he thought we were watching SpongeBob tonight.
Crazy.
So that's
it took me a second there.
Yeah. And notice they're about the size of a sheet of toilet paper.
While you're sleeping.
Hey Tim, no, this is the first time that Matthew's ever seen Demolition Man. He's never seen it.
Let's see, when did While You're Sleeping come out? That's another Sandra Bullock movie.
I love how they keep calling him Caveman. That is so mean.
Demolition Man came out first. Huh.
Oh, I love this.
Was this after Speed? I think so. Speed was 91, I want to say.
And Daniel, stop throwing spoilers in the chat. Matthew's never seen this.
Speed was 94. I'm mistaken. I'm not reading it, so. Hi diddly ho, hi diddly ho, hi diddly ho.
And little old lady donated $1.
Oh no.
So
Little _old lady $1. Why do you have the slim attempted murderer Matthew up there?
What's the little old
Tell
lady
him
up to
when I
today?
see that scum again, I'm going to shove that pineapple up his.
she said, why do you have the slim attempted murderer Matthew up there? Tell him when I see that scum again, I'm going to shove that pineapple up his, and then it cuts off.
Whew. Thankfully, the morality codes cut her off before she could go one word further.
Little old lady, you have been fined 1 credit for a violation of the morality code. Daniel, I don't think they're going to ever make a sequel to Demolition Man. Could not be made today. Demolition Man could not be made today. And Blaine throws $5 in. Thank you, Blaine. Says, glad you're alive, anti-trekker. So say we all. Thank you. I truly, truly appreciate that. And like I said, that's going to the doctors. But hey, that's $1 less or $5 less I got to spend out of pocket. So I really, really appreciate it.
IMDb says Demolition Man 2 will jump further into the future.
Really? Who's written? Nah, I don't buy it.
Let's see, it is suspect, but it was supposed to be done up during COVID, so
here's
maybe
her.
Never now.
Here's her radio station.
Yeah, plop plop fizz fizz for Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah.
Oscar Mayer.
So this is hit music to them.
Wow.
Ever see Fanboys about the guys going to see the Phantom Menace? Yes, it's actually a fun movie. Have you seen Fanboys, Matthew?
I haven't.
That might be one to put on the list.
I think a similar thing.
Yes, I see you like the violence.
It's true. Well done violence is hilarious. A kind of similar movie called The Gamers, except that one's more made by gamers and not necessarily just making fun of fanboys. But it's for a bunch of geeks playing D&D. We need your help.
What is my boggle? So obviously he wants a gun, and this is the only place he can get one. Although, now granted, this is just a massive plot hole in the movie. I get that they would have guns on display. Why would they have live ammunition on display?
I guess they're just so dumb when it comes to anyone who'd want this. They're like, oh, well, and this is what was used to put in it.
And Red Hawk, thank you again for buying me this lovely drink of vodka. It's definitely hitting the spot tonight. Oh yeah, did you catch the Star Trek reference there?
No.
He said, wait a minute, this is the future. Where are all the phaser guns?
Nice. Ooh.
And so he does have the futuristic weapon, but it needs to charge, so it's charging right now for him.
Oh, okay.
Oh, commercial break coming.
They don't like Radio Shack.
Yeah. Here we go.
I thought, where's the Radio Shack? And then it drops down. Like he. Wow.
Oh, don't worry, it gets worse.
So, everyone except the two kids are Asian.
Look at that.
Much love. The commercials they want us to forget about.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, don't be drinking any more Kool-Aid, people. Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Poor Kool-Aid. It's gotten such a bad rap.
So we got Goodyear Kool-Aid. Yes, we used to have TV specials about every man's fantasies.
Is it not like a Bachelorette thing?
The women who rate a 10 tonight.
Okay, not a Bachelorette thing.
That's just like, hey, we just got a show of hot chicks. Check it out. I didn't add the commercials. I replaced the commercials. Difference. There were commercials there that I removed, and I put new ones in place.
You use the Force. Poor random guy.
No, Tim, the movie already had commercials. I just replaced them. I would love a sequel to this, Daniel, but it ain't going to happen. Too politically incorrect.
Or if we do get a sequel, it's not going to have...
They're going to say, oh, now conservatives have ruined everything. That's the only thing they would do.
And depending on how they do it, that wouldn't necessarily be bad. To go from here's how it looks with liberals in charge, and now here's how it looks with conservatives in charge. Kind of the
right.
both extremes being bad.
Yes. Did you get what? Did you get that? No, actually, this is the unedited version, as Matthew got to see, that we see Stallone in all his glory early on in this film. So yeah, there's nothing is cut out. It's just that there were commercial breaks in the download that I could get, and I just thought it would be fun to actually have commercials to juxtapose what we're watching in the movie. Kathleen Kennedy could make a great sequel. Kathleen Kennedy would just be a producer. You need to get like someone like Rian Johnson.
Speaking of movies that I haven't seen yet, the Johnson movie,
Knives Out. I've heard it was good.
It was a decent movie.
Yeah, I've heard it was good. I haven't seen it either. Maybe we'll have to watch it sometime. Like we can both watch it for the first time on this show. But you won't know when it's coming because it's mystery movie night for you.
It really has been. Ever since you pulled that April Fool's joke on me.
I think it's a fun idea.
Oh, I'm having fun with it.
You just need to commit to doing it every week. Enough of the
I think I've been
Sequest
hearing
crap.
that, yeah.
And Mrs. Matthew can join if you want.
I don't know if I want her to see the Italian stallion.
In all
Little
his glory.
stallion, as you put it. Yeah. Oh, they should have had a little dispenser for that.
Yeah, see, Thomas in all caps. We want every week. I'm working on it. I think he's going to give in sooner or later. If nothing else, he'll just do it out of pity for me because I'm dying and all.
You're dying. Wow. That sentence might come back to haunt me if you literally are dying.
Yeah, I know. See, that when I'm dead, you're going to be feeling so guilty that you're going to start doing a movie stream every night.
Thomas will put it together too. He'll be like, here's anti-trackers talking about it, and Matthew just laughs. Impeachment article number 1015.
Well, no, you're going to have to, at that point, you're going to have to do a movie stream every night and donate the proceeds to Mrs. Anti-Tracker.
Yes. The
and Blaine, thank you. Throws another
Fund.
buck in just because. Thank you, my friend. I truly appreciate it. And by the way, guys, while I do appreciate it, and I will tell you that all super chats and donations are going to medical bills right now, but do not give if you can't afford to. I mean that. I love you guys, and I don't want anybody hurting themselves to help me out. But if you can help out, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to appreciate it. How dare you, Matthew? Anti-Tracker is unhealthy and watching movies makes him happy. See?
I think we've established I'm a jerk.
Definitely. So, pay attention here. See, he's Bird of Prey 5. He's saying the name Trekker, Anti-Trekker. Yes, oh, come on. Here's to you, Crawford. Long live and Geloja. Live long and Geloja. Thank you, Mercer. I do appreciate it, my friend. But I do mean it. Don't give more than you can afford, but thank you. Oh, yeah. There you go. So, I'm pretty sure you can figure out who's behind all this now.
I think I'm able to put those two things together. Yeah.
Yes. And don't forget, guys, if you haven't already, click on the link at the top of the chat because you don't want to miss this. This is a lot of fun. There's still like 3 commercial breaks coming that are going to absolutely make you roll on the floor when you see these commercials. Oh. That is a Kurogan saying, isn't it? He really licked his ass.
It's not one I'm familiar with there.
And yes, Nigel Hawthorne is an awesome actor. I said, I'm on my phone, so I can't watch. Oh, I'm so sorry, Thomas, because you're missing a blast, man.
He looks quite popish.
Yes.
I guess I should say papal.
Papal, I think is the term.
Papal. It's a pap might be something different.
I know, Darth Maul. Once you've seen this movie a few times, yeah, every scene is so quotable. Did you hear where he's taking him? Or were you not paying attention?
To dinner.
Yeah, did you hear where?
No.
He said to Taco Bell. And yes, Daniel, that's what he said.
Okay, so have they explained to us why the Doctor is so important?
He created this perfect society.
Did he do it through drugs? I feel like they're all drugged.
No, he just led them to a better, enlightened, liberal agenda.
Okay. Because I kind of felt like there were some gummy bears involved.
Think of him as like a Barack Obama kind of character. He's just everybody. He just after the aftermath of the earthquakes and stuff, he rose to power and created this perfect utopia. It's Bird of Prey 5, at least the way Bird of Prey 5 envisions himself.
Gotcha. Oh. Can you imagine if there was a Schwarzenegger library? A presidential, okay. That's all kinds of illegal.
The 61st Amendment. See, they actually have a line to deal with that.
Nice. Oh, Arnold.
But I do like that because, you know, Arnold and Stallone like to make fun of each other, so...
Of all the people for Arnold to cheat with, I still can't get past the fact that he chose that maid.
Yeah, I know. It's like Arnold could get like any woman in Hollywood, and yeah. And Blaine with another $5. Thank you, Blaine. I don't deserve it. I do appreciate it, man, more than I can say. People dying, gotta go, plug it in, enjoy the movie. People dying, gotta go, plug it in. What? Enjoy the movie. I'll catch the replay. We love you, man. I don't know what you're doing, man, dying. But yeah, you go deal with whatever you got to deal with.
No, phone dying, Michael.
Phone dying. Oh, man. See, I can't read. Wow. I was like, people dying? What are you doing here? You're giving me a super chat. Oh, that's a dyslexia for you. But thank you. Thank you, Blaine. Have a good night. And yeah, you can watch the replay, just sync it up and then pause it for the commercials. Yeah, you didn't catch the Taco Bell thing. So all restaurants are now Taco Bell because there was the franchise wars back in the day. And Taco Bell's the only franchise.
Taco Bell came on top.
Yeah. You know, I haven't seen Last Action Hero Renegade, so I didn't know that.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Is it?
Oh yeah. If that's what the serving size is, I don't see how there's any fat people in this society.
Yeah. Tom says, I got to get up at 3 a.m., so I'm going to bed. Good night, Anti-Check, everyone in check. Have a good night, Short Shanks, I guess. Thank you, Thomas. You know you're my buddy.
Thank you, Thomas.
Have a great night.
And also, that sucks. You gotta be up at 3. That is not a fun hour.
So salt is illegal. That's another thing. Listen.
Of course it is. Seriously, how are there any fat people in this society? I guess they just really wanted that actor.
Yeah. So now he's explaining it. Hey, guy from Red Bank, good to see you.
So no alcohol. They're not drinking wine.
Yeah, they're probably drinking water.
It's certainly not soda.
Here we go. Do you imagine that?
His eyes were stuck open.
Yep. It's like he's the only one that gets it, you know?
Yeah. Also, that is just an insane length of time to keep someone incarcerated, even if they are like unconscious.
Well, yeah, but the being awake thing, oh man, could you imagine sitting there for 70 years if he'd served his full sentence? 70 years without aging, and like your wife banging against a block of ice, and you know she's there, and then one day she stops showing up, you know she's dead.
No, it's that is insane. And just the tedium. Nothing to do, just stuck there.
Yeah.
I definitely would have gone insane.
Now then again,
right, so
if there's good
friendly,
lumbar
right?
support, I might enjoy it.
The gasping.
Well, they're not used to violence. That's the thing. They're so passive now. Because masculinity, think about like the modern liberal thinking process.
Yeah.
Masculinity bad. Therefore what Stallone is doing is horrific to them.
Shepard works too.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so Friendly is the leader of the dregs that he's talking about, right?
Yes. And
Okay.
so, but they can't get to them, so he resurrects Simon Phoenix to go get them. Gotcha.
Laser disc.
See, I love this message right here. But you see, that's a good message. That is a really good message. Yeah, sometimes hurting people is a good thing, but not when it's just a bunch of people looking to survive.
Which really is quite the contrast against your typical 80s style.
Exactly.
Macho man.
You wouldn't expect that from a Stallone movie.
Yeah.
Yet the rebels seem well versed in violence. They could overrun society quite easily. You would think so, but I would guess that they don't want to hurt anybody. Oh shoot! You know what? There's I think that I hope it doesn't show up in one of the pictures. There's a naked picture that I think I missed. That
make sure to cover everyone's eyes. Don't worry.
The Darth Maul mentioned. Hopefully, we don't get the stream shut down. I can't remember if I caught that one or not. Man, Darth Maul. Ugh, I forgot about that. Fortunately, it's very short, so hopefully, it won't get us caught.
Watch it be like the clip.
Yeah, I know.
The clip show.
And it's like that'll show up as the thumbnail.
Everyone just enjoyed this for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
That'd be a horrible way to store data.
On a laser disc? Oh, here we go.
Yeah, just
wait. You want to watch this?
Ah, the Flintstones. They need a lucky strike break. Oh, they're on Winston now. Wow. Yeah, it's crazy how adult-oriented the Flintstones used to be.
Yep.
Yeah, Search is going, wow. Yeah, there's a reason why they made laws about not advertising in children.
Yeah.
Material.
Oh, here we go.
This
here we
is
go.
a lot of that reason.
This is my favorite right here. I want sexual harassment.
Nice. Well, I say it's not harassment if she's the one pursuing.
That's no, but she's not pursuing. She's saying, "Why hasn't my boss asked me out?"
Well, it would be inappropriate and unladylike for her to be the person.
Winston tastes good like a cigarette should.
Hey. He should have gotten a ticket for that.
Well, they're in his personal chambers. They probably don't have the monitors there.
Yeah.
I love that fireplace.
I wish I had a room that could house that fireplace.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm only going. They even had Wilma smoking in that commercial. That. Yes, illuminate. Deluminate.
Malibu.
Admiral Swazilos, we are watching Demolition Man. You can click on the link at the top of the chat if you want to join us.
I know he thinks he has Wesley Snipes on a leash, but I definitely wouldn't mouth off to.
Well, remember, Wesley cannot hurt him.
Right up until the moment he can.
Nope. I will tell you, he can't hurt him. He never hurts him in this movie.
Wow. I'm impressed.
The programming works.
Ooh, Darth is saying there's a Sega Genesis video game of this movie. I will have to look that up.
You're gonna have to find that for your gaming streams.
I am.
So you like her perfect 20th century apartment?
It's so cluttered.
Yes. Oh, it's the big sex scene. Hope you're ready for this.
Is that Kennedy in the background?
Yeah. Are you not paying attention to what she's saying?
Oh, I'm listening to her very awkwardly describe the fact that
she's turned on by the fact that he was violent.
Yes.
You can get the Flintstones series for $28 on Amazon. That's not bad. So she just blatantly just said, let's have sex. That's how they do it in the year 2032. Yes, I did know that, Lancer. In the European edit of this Pizza Hut, they digitally changed the Taco Bell to Pizza Hut. And they changed the dialogue that Pizza Hut won the franchise war. Something about licensing. They couldn't do Taco Bell in Europe.
I wonder if they had to do anything else like that in the Asian market.
I don't know. Is Matthew blushing? Oh, he will when the next commercial break hits.
What's the music they're playing? Or the jingle?
I can't quite make it out. Don't have it that loud. Love Boat. The Love Boat theme. It's the Love Boat theme.
Nice.
All right, here we go. Here's sex in the year 2032.
Because pregnancy is illegal.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, sex would be illegal as well. Actual sex.
Mm-hmm. Robert, we do not encourage people to go to the high seas around here. I'm going to go to help you feel better. Just do what Patrick Stewart does, ride a dune buggy. Well, I don't have a dune buggy, but thank you, Mercer, and have a good night, man.
Gonna get a seizure doing the deed.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Watch this. You don't want to miss it.
Is it a couple Matthews? Yep.
Renegade, you're probably right. The reason for the pizza was because nobody knew who Taco Bell was in the EU. Admiral Saval, no problem. If you've been up for too long, go get some rest, my friend. Daniel, they're explaining that right now, how they make more people. I never called it the Hunka Chunka. There's your COVID reference.
Yeah. And remember, at this point in time, people were really, really scared about AIDS.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't bad as the 80s, but they still thought like just being in the pool after someone who had AIDS was enough to transfer it.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, they're all just giant children.
Yes, it's liberal utopia. It really is. And now he gets to check out his apartment. This is where I am hoping I didn't forget to put the Matthew face on, but I think I did. So if I did, I apologize, and I hope it doesn't come up on the screen.
We'll find out shortly.
In fact, just to be safe, there, we'll remove the slideshow for just a minute. I can't hear you because the slideshow's out. Actually, here, I'll put it up here for a second. I forgot your audio's coming through the slideshow, but let me see. It's I know what when he sits. Yeah, there's the 3 seashells.
You would think they would at least have like a bidet situation going on.
Well, yeah, I would love to know exactly how the 3 seashells work. All right, so be quiet for a minute, because so now Matthew can't talk because I think this is the actual part where I may have forgotten. I don't remember if I forgot. So we'll see in a moment. And this should be it. Yeah, he's looking at his personal effects. Notice, Matthew, I know you can't say anything, but notice that he has a ball of yarn in his personal effects. Yep, I forgot. And wait for that part to go by on the slideshow, and I think we're good.
Yep. Yeah, thankfully the slideshow only showed her in the towel.
Okay. Sorry about that. That was not intentional. I apologize, Matthew. But look at how he's like casually getting ready to knit.
Yeah. So apparently he actually knows how to do that?
They're going to talk about it in a minute.
Because it's one of those things they... Oh, and that... Okay.
Remember the cortical thing? The cortical device?
And that's going to let him start piece some things together.
Yeah.
Sandra was so young in this movie.
Yes. Well, this was before Speed. This is really probably one of her first major roles.
A great... See.
Okay, check it. So here's what we're going to talk about here. Well, that makes sense. So the liberal establishment just tells you what you need to do.
So according to his genetic profile,
Mm-hmm.
the most thing he was suited for is knitting.
But Phoenix gets all this extra knowledge. So they're going to look it up.
Seamstress.
Look at this.
So it looks like she was born in 64.
Mm-hmm.
But she was just barely 30 for this.
Yeah. So you see, his entire rehab program was designed to make him a better killer.
Yeah. Indeed. Why?
What could the reason be? It's rude to accuse him of a murder. I like that. Yeah, I'll be subtle. I'm good at subtle. Who would it fight? Simon Phoenix or Blade? Well, they're played by the same guy, but I would give it to Blade because Blade is superhuman. Simon Phoenix, while very, very strong, is not really superhuman.
Nice subtlety.
Yeah. Yeah. Notice how quickly this is a demonstration. See?
Maybe shoot.
Yeah. So yeah, this is notice how they keep referring to him as a caveman, prehistoric, exactly the kind of, what you would expect to hear from SJWs today about masculinity.
I think they literally do.
Yeah.
Didn't Biden literally say something about we got in this caveman thinking or Neanderthal thinking?
Oh, I missed a commercial break. I didn't even realize it. Wow. That's shame on me. There should have been commercials there.
Yeah, it was something about like either it was about getting the vaccine. He said we got to end this Neanderthal thinking.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's a little surprising that no one's willing to go down there.
Yeah.
Is it illegal to go down there?
No, well, not for the police to go down there. But like you said, they don't give a crap. Yeah, let's go blow this guy. I love that. Did you
Whatever.
catch that? Yeah. But what do you expect from a sanitized, you know, utopian police officer? I don't know why we heard crickets in there. Did you notice that? That was kind of weird to me. Why do we hear crickets
Yeah,
in
I
the
did
sewers?
notice that. I guess they're not allowed on the surface.
Yeah, Daniel, I love that. She wants to blow this guy away. Blow this guy away.
And I see the flies make sense.
Yes.
Well, buzzing you got.
Okay, pay attention to when they smell this place. I love this. Because to them, they smell the most revolting thing ever. Meat. That's what they
Meat.
smell.
Wow. It's a Rolex.
Okay, pay attention here. This is horrible. Good point.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Come on, just there we go.
I mean, I gotta admit, if you're living into that culture, getting a burger, I don't care what it's made of, is gonna be heaven, right?
It's hilarious that both Demolition Man and Sequest both predicted the outlawing of real meat burgers.
Yeah. I haven't
And
seen
people are working
Sequest,
on it right now.
Yeah. Yeah, they think that it's horrible. But I love that whole thing. Like, they're like, oh my God, what's that horrible stench? And it's like, it smells like a burger cooking on a grill, which is like something that we think of as just such a great smell, you know?
I could go for a nice burger.
Yeah.
In fact, tomorrow, when we moved in, there was an outdoor grill patio on our thing, and I need to demolish it so I can get, because it doesn't work. It hasn't worked in years. I just need to bust apart all the brick on the patio.
You
so I
better
can
fix
get a
it
real
before
grill.
we get there so you can make a burger for me.
Not burger, steak.
Okay, well, that's even better. And I agree, Renegade. I'd rather eat a rat burger than one of those plant ones.
See, if they weren't so expensive, I'd be willing to try it just for the experience of, like, how bad is it really?
I remember you said that.
There's a lot of guys outside Taco Bell.
I love this little.
See, this is a speech Sam should have given at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Short, sweet, to the point.
Yeah,
I would rather live here.
Hey, Dennis Leary, I don't particularly care for Dennis Leary himself, but I do love that speech. That is like a great speech. So there's the former governor.
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. See, right there.
Yeah.
Bald head.
His goatee wasn't that dark when he was the governor.
Yes. He has like 2 lines in this whole movie, so. Bring back the good old days, boys.
It really wouldn't take that much effort just to overthrow the current society.
You would think, yeah.
I mean, this guy talks about wanting to just, smear green jello and run naked reading Playboys if he wanted to. But at the end of the day, he's still, kind of tame.
Yeah.
How many times do I have to tell you? Aim first, then pull the trigger.
Yeah. That's a movie. They're excited. But how did they get this much ammunition? And I have not tried the Impossible Whopper, and I have no intention on ever trying the Impossible Whopper. I will go to my grave without knowing what an Impossible Whopper tastes like, and I'm perfectly okay with that.
Oh, is the Impossible Whopper one of the?
That's a veggie. Yeah, it's a veggie burger.
It's fascinating because that much soy is not great for your body.
Right. But we're on the establishment is on this anti-meat thing, so they'll get over it eventually.
Try to take him down.
Mm-hmm.
Stay down. Stay down. Or else. Or else.
Phoenix!
Stella!
Now, they're about to defy the laws of physics with the elevator, but don't worry, it's not nearly as bad as Discovery. Yeah.
Darth, I am just a little bit too old to have ever gotten into Power Rangers, so I'm afraid that is a black hole of mystery to me.
Yeah, me neither. I've never watched any of the Power Rangers stuff.
I did try, but that first scene when Rita shows up and she chews up the scenery, I said, okay, I can't do this.
Yeah, elevators can't rise above the top of the shaft. But hey, whatever. It's a movie.
I'm just surprised that the gas didn't turn to Vaseline by this point.
Well, it would have, but movies. We'll just say
It had
quantum.
some great stabilizer in the fuel.
It had some quantum gas. What utopia would you live in? Anti-Dreckers, Roddenberry's, or this one? Well, Roddenberry's for sure.
Yeah, because at least in Roddenberry's, you get people like Captain Akuma. Is that his name? In TNG, the one,
the Klingon?
No. The
Kling Orc
Captain. No, in TNG, it was a season 1 episode. Wesley was really impressed by the guy. Free spirit.
I'm just saying that, like, in the Trek era, it's a post-scarcity utopia, which means that everybody gets what they want. You don't have people starving to death because they don't want to agree with society, because replicators take care of all that.
Right.
And so if you want to live on a ranch on your own and all that, fine, go ahead. Knock yourself out. You want to smoke space weed in front of the Vasquez Rocks? No problem. Get a trailer.
Okona.
Yeah, Takuvma was the Klingon from Discovery.
Yeah.
So you were actually saying that the saving grace of Roddenberry's vision is Takuvma. I just want to make sure you understand you said that.
I said Akuna. Not Takuma. But no, because then you still have like the wonderful Captain Okona, who wasn't part of Starfleet and could just live his life, or Harry Mudd for that matter. So yeah, I'd rather be in his utopia than this one. Yeah. Daniel, they say everything is free, but then you look at like anywhere else and it's not free. It's like, yeah, if you're in the military gives you everything you want.
I'd join Starfleet because it'd be fun.
Yeah. As long as you only want the things the military is willing to give you.
That's not the military. Remember, Starfleet is not the military.
Yeah, sure, it's not.
Yeah. Pretty good stunt work. Keep in mind, no CGI in this movie.
Yeah. He must have abs of steel to pull off a move like that, though.
Well, it is Stallone. He kind of does have abs of steel.
True.
I mean, Stallone is like, what, 75 and he still is cut? I mean, it's insane.
I mean, you have to wonder what his daily routine is like to stay that ripped.
Yeah. His daily diet is just a steady diet of steroids. Oh, here we go.
This is coming from the man who thinks there's a Star Trek character named B'Elanna Troi.
Yeah, your coffee's horrible, honey.
Dun, dun,
listen to his condescending voice here. Yeah, you stupid core. I didn't say Folgers. I said new Folgers.
Amazing.
Now we won't get divorced.
As long as you can fix these eggs, they're kind of runny.
Oh, here we go.
I can't do anything, but my boss tells me to spin spool because she can use the Xerox.
Yes.
Nice. Nice.
Seven copies a minute.
I never thought about how they used to have to make copies.
Yep. That's a thing.
Wow.
Can't unsee that, Matthew. Can't unsee it.
I'm going to lunch with mother.
All right, let's see. Now, I gotta say, the safety foam is a great idea.
It is. It's kind of what they did with Speed Racer.
Yeah. But this is way earlier.
Which is another one I haven't seen.
You haven't seen the Speed Racer movie? Oh, well, that one's definitely going on the list. That's such a bad movie, but it's fun. Yes, I remember the Ditto machines. Oh, those things were awful. And that's why she was talking about powder, because the Ditto machines actually used ink. Very messy.
Clearly, it was his fault. My anger at you is justified. How about an army?
Red alert, what are you going to do?
Do they even know how to use a stun baton?
Yeah, I remember the smell of Ditto machines, Darth Maul. I do.
Weapons of mass destruction. Nice. And Searches, that's right. Xerox did make the first computer mouse that Apple shamelessly ripped off. Shovel it.
That is the closest she's gotten, so.
And you know the chief knows the right way to say it.
Now, this is a wonderful little moment here. Remember, I told you the programming did work. He cannot harm him. And now he wants to take it even further. See, he wants to kill him.
I just keep waiting for
just watch,
the
watch,
moment.
Just watch.
Evil Mr. Rogers.
See?
There we go.
Will you please kill him?
Yeah, I was thinking it's gonna be something more like he shoots something above his head because all of them have been programmed this way.
No, because that would be causing his death. He couldn't do anything to cause his death. But he could just give the gun to someone else. He knows how to survive.
Well, some police are here.
Yeah, two guys.
slapping him with the backside of his hand.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess technically he did want to initiate a combat to the death, so it's acceptable.
Ow. See, I only buy it as far as small women beating up big guys if they go for the nuts. Then I buy it every time.
Good shot. Impossible shot, maybe, but still good.
Yeah. Shot. The bullet phased through him. Yeah, not even
So
in police training.
Is she his daughter?
No. I thought that too, but no, there's no indication of that.
Okay.
And the age wouldn't be right anyway, because you were saying that she was just about 30. This is 2032, and he was sentenced in 96, so she's too young.
Yeah.
His daughter would be like 40. At least. Assuming she was born just before he was frozen.
And yes, Daniel, Sandra Bullock makes him happy when she kicks butt.
So he's gonna unfreeze everybody. He knows that she wouldn't be able to handle what he's got to do. Oh, here. Listen to who's in here.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Why can't women fight like that? Because it's completely and utterly unrealistic. That's why. And that's the honest truth. A 110-pound woman cannot throw a 200-pound man around, no matter how much Hollywood likes to make you think they can. Physics doesn't work that way.
I mean, I'm not sure if you saw it, but the U.S. soccer team, women's soccer team.
Oh, wait. You don't want to miss this.
Okay, we gotta sing this together, huh?
Yeah, sing it.
I am the frito bandito. I like those corn chips. I love them. I do. Want fritos corn chips? I'll get them for you. Ay. This is incredibly racist.
You must not offend. He finishes the song by saying, "You must not offend."
I think they got the guy who did Speedy Gonzalez to do his voice.
Oh, here we go. Here's another good one for you.
So what? He's
No,
from the Appalachian Mountains.
No, it's his friend. You're going to meet his friend in a moment.
Oh.
By the way, I added that.
I was like, wow, I didn't think that was there.
It's the Engine Orange. Oh, and Chinese cherry.
You know, they almost got through without being too racist. I mean, you had the Indian one, but that wasn't too bad.
Oh, but how about this?
Huh. This is how Ford decide to advertise.
No, post rice.
No, I see. Wow. So I guess they teamed up with Ford.
Yeah. Post and Ford working together for the cause of racism.
Happy ending. Wow. Wow.
I may have enhanced the happy ending line a little.
It was worth repeating.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, I forgot to delete that one. So there you go. There's an actual commercial that was there.
And John DeMarco is right. He put on the beret. Now it's serious.
Yes. But I got to say, Renegade, look, your nurses are not going to prove me wrong as far as the physics of it. I'm not saying that a small woman can't beat up a large man, but they're not going to grab him and throw him across the room. And that's what Hollywood wants you to believe. That does not happen. And Alex, good to see you.
I think it's the U.S. soccer team. They played against some 15-year-old boys and lost. They got skunked. It was like 15-0 or some obscene like that.
There are ways, for example, and Bruce Lee even talks about in his book how to defeat a larger, more powerful opponent. But you don't grab them and throw them. It doesn't work that way. Now, one very effective tactic against men in particular is you go for the groin every time. And that sounds like a dirty move, but that's what you do. If you're a 110-pound woman and you're facing off a 200-pound man, you go for the groin and you rip it to shreds. That's how you beat him. And that's what you teach women in self-defense classes. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt the action there. And thank you, cool. Alex. I do appreciate it, man.
Yeah, there is no shame in self-defense.
Right. Absolutely. You know what? If Mrs. Antitrucker were facing off with some dude, I would want her to rip his sack right off. I'm sorry.
Don't be. The claw.
The claw. And no, Daniel, she can't throw him across the room if she's a black belt. That's not physically possible. She might be able to, like, if she was an Aikido master and he was dumbly charging into her and she was able to maneuver around, she might be able to trip him and throw him. But you're not going to see some woman pick up a guy and throw him across the room like they do in movies. That is physically impossible.
And you'd also see her winning in a technical match.
Right.
By all means. Like when all they care about is who made first contact or...
Right.
But when she wins.
Yeah, but when you see a woman like punch a guy and he goes down from a punch, that is complete BS. Sorry. Some little 110-pound woman ain't going to happen. Wesley Snipes hairdo reminds me of Parmesan cheese. That's awesome.
I'm not sure if you've ever heard of this guy. He's called the Mad Dog, but he is a MMA boxer over in China. Mm-hmm. And the Chinese government actually forbade him from fighting anymore because he was decimating all the masters. People were like, oh, well, I have the inner chi and I can take down a man and, with one finger. And he's just been proving them completely wrong. Because he got the nickname Mad Dog because he'd just come up and beat them senseless.
Right. Discipline and study is great and it can take you a long way, but raw power will win a fight.
Now, I'm pretty sure OSHA requires all suspended cabling to be able to support a full-grown man.
Well, this isn't an OSHA certified facility. And Daniel, doesn't matter if she's a 6-degree black belt. If she's 110 pounds and he's 200, she could not physically pick him up. It is not possible. That'd be like saying, hey, well, if I'm a 10th degree black belt, does that mean I can defy the law of gravity? No, it does not. And this is before Rodman went completely nuts. I think Rodman was actually channeling this character.
They've actually done some interesting things, like depending on how far away you stand from a person, even a burly, like 6.5 foot tall, beefy guy couldn't pick up a 100-pound woman if she's just about a half foot away or further away from him. So if he's right next to her, he can pick her up. But and that's just vertically picking him up. But if she's as much as like a foot away, just the angles makes it impossible. The whole idea of being able to throw someone across a room, even as a big guy, is Hollywood nonsense.
Yeah. Not that she couldn't win a fight, just not the way they show it. So obviously, speaking of fights, this is a fairly even match here. When before, remember in the beginning of the movie, Stallone just kicked his butt all over the place.
Yeah.
But that's because he had the enhancements. Fun fact, that block is actually the model of Stallone.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's the same one. I only know because of that shot, actually, because I had to see it's the same junk.
Not again. Oh, okay. It's the cryo fluid.
Yeah.
That is an effective fluid. Dang.
Yeah, I think you got him.
What's it that Judge Dredd says at the end of his stuff?
I am the law. Or I knew you'd say that.
Nah, I was talking about the one like whenever he renders a verdict.
Oh, you've been judged?
That's the one. Mm-hmm. That's what we need to hear right there.
And of course, he blows up another building.
This one wasn't my fault.
Now, in fairness, it is the first building he's blown up in nearly 40 years.
But also, like, within 3 days of being unfrozen?
Yeah. That's right, John DeMarco. Court's adjourned. But see, I like that. Notice he didn't just say that Edgar Friendly was right. That Edgar needed to clean up, but the liberals needed to get a little more dirty. You know, that the truth, ultimately, how to run a society is not left wing or right wing.
Right.
Oh, they're learning how to kiss again.
I think that's the lesson they learned in one of those Pixar movies.
Well, I'm thinking of the apple from the original series. And there it is. Demolition Man.
This was definitely the most 80s 90s movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, it is definitely one of the most 80s 90s movies ever made, I would say.
Michael Tennessee Lee. I didn't know you went by pseudonym.
Well, you know, I got things to do, man. So, what are your thoughts now that you've seen it? Well, most of it you weren't really paying that close attention, but what are your thoughts on Demolition Man? Oh, I forgot your audio is through the clips. I turned off the clips. Sorry, I'll put it back. Oh. What is up with that? Your audio is stupid.
Yeah, I gotta figure out a better solution. It's coming through that way because it's the only, like, I can control Edge, my audio and microphone source, but Firefox, all I can set is my microphone source. And so if I don't want to hear myself talking to you because I got the two browsers open, I got set up weird. But apparently I set it up really weird today because usually I can at least take off the clips show and still be able to talk to you.
Right. And I know that, like, so let me take a look here.
Oh, good.
Oh, did you stop the music? Okay.
Yeah.
Who is this? Daniel says we need a sequel. Go to Box Office Mojo. Well, the movie made, as far as worldwide box office, it only shows 58 million, but it doesn't look like it was ever released internationally. It's just 58 million domestic, 0 international. So it was not, a huge box office success by modern standards. I'm not seeing, because, I hate the way that Box Office Mojo has kind of changed their website around. I'm trying to see what the budget was, because they used to put the budget right there on the main page for the movie, and now I'm not seeing it. Let's see, because 58 million doesn't sound like very much. But if it was made on a $20 million budget, it made money. But that's not a ton of money. Even for, look, 1993, let me see, can we get top movies 1993? Let's see if we can get a list of that. So 1993 in film, highest grossing films, Jurassic Park made less than 914 million. It was within 80 million of a billion, or was in 90 million of a billion. So Jurassic Park made 914 million. Mrs. Doubtfire made 441. The Fugitive made 368. Schindler's List made 321. The Firm made 270. Indecent Proposal made 266. Cliffhanger made 255. Another Stallone film, by the way. Sleepless in Seattle made 227. Philadelphia 206. And The Pelican Brief made $195 million. This movie made 58. This movie made a quarter of what The Pelican Brief made same year. So, honestly, I think that's why we don't have a sequel. This movie did not make money. Just being honest. And Renegade, it may have gotten an international release, but at least according to Box Office Mojo, there's no numbers for it. Let me see if I can find from a different source a number that is higher than the 58 million that we got for domestic. Let's see. Yeah, according to this, worldwide was 159 million. All right, so it says. So Box Office Mojo is just missing some data there, if that's the case. Let's see, box office. So Film debuted at number 1, which lots of films do. Demolition made 159 million worldwide. Film critic Roger Ebert was asked why this film was considered a success, but Last Action Hero was considered a flop despite similar budgets and box office grosses. Ebert concluded it was due to expectations that this film was seen as a comeback for Stallone, whose career had been flagging, while Schwarzenegger's failed to live up to his previous record-breaking success.
Okay.
So there you go. But what was the budget? UD. Big budget. The film had a production budget of $45 million. So it made money. Because with a 45, so if it took 100, we'll just use round numbers. Budget of 50 million made 150 million. So it made back 3 times its budget. However, typically a film, the marketing cost of a film is roughly the same as its production cost. So if you have a $50 million film, it has to recoup $100 million before it makes a profit. But there's also the fact that 80% is what the theaters get in the early weeks, or is what the studio gets in the early weeks. They do not get 100% of the box office. So that means that best case scenario, we'll use the full. So it was 159, I think, million that they made times 0.8. If they got 80% of the entire run, that was 127 million, which they didn't get that much because they do not get 80% of international. They only get 80% of American. So it's probably lower than this. But that means that their actual take-in was about between 100 and 120 million dollars on a total budget of 100 million. So while it probably made money, it probably didn't make a lot of money.
Right.
So it's not it's funny the way you got to figure out box office stuff, because you have the production budget and they never ever talk about the marketing budget. They'll tell you what the production budget was. They never tell you the marketing budget. But generally speaking, the rule of thumb is they spend the same amount on marketing that they did in production, because that's how much the studio is willing to risk. And so so assuming that holds true with this movie, then they got to take in the box office receipts, but the theaters do have to make their money. And internationally, the theaters make more money. And the reason for that is simple. Hollywood is desperate to get into these markets, and so these markets are in a better place to negotiate. So places like China, they get horrible, it's like 50-50. Places like Western Europe, where American movies are very popular, it's more like about 70-30, so Hollywood makes some money. And of course, in the States, it's generally about 80-20. Except for opening weekend is usually 90-10. But the theaters will go for that because they know, like, if they have, when the next Marvel movie comes out, every theater knows that they're going to sell out every showing. So they'll take the 90-10 split because it's a guarantee that they're going to sell out. And that means and that's why you pay $10 for a bucket of popcorn.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how it works. And Josh says,
still hear me because I transferred my stuff over.
Oh yeah, I see. Thank you. Yeah, I was like stupid having the extra window there. So when is Matthew watching the Last Jedi torture stream? I will tell you that one of these days I am gonna, because every week Matthew from now on Matthew will not know the movie in advance. So one day it will be The Last Jedi, and the best part of that is that every week Matthew will be thinking, "Is this the week I'm going to have to watch The Last Jedi?" So the real
good news, I will forget.
Yes.
I'm going to go to bed.
I'll remind you.
Wake up in the morning and be like, I don't remember any of this.
I will definitely remind you from time to time. I'll send you like a little message midweek. Hey, this could be the week that we watch The Last Jedi. Or maybe
you just want Damocles' sword hanging over me, huh?
Yes.
Always getting closer with each swipe.
Yeah, because even if it's not the week we watch The Last Jedi, that means we're 1 week closer to watching The Last Jedi. Every day is a day closer to watching The Last Jedi. So the torture is there because he's going to know that he's getting closer every week. Donnie says, thanks to you, Matt, for a great watch party. Have a great weekend. You too, my friend. Might see some of you in seconds on another live stream happening now, though. All right, well, have a good one. I don't know who all's live streaming right now. And yes, the Ewok movies are definitely on the list, but Matthew doesn't know when they're coming. And thanks to Thomas Potts, my Kuroga, or my Turnstani agent, we know now that SpongeBob needs to be on the list as well.
At least there's no dolphins in SpongeBob.
Well, are you sure about that?
I'm not.
Yeah. And look, Daniel, I understand that you may have seen, like, I don't go with rumors. I don't care. Stallone, you know, the reason the actors say stuff like that is because they want to show Hollywood there's interest in it. So Stallone hints there's a sequel in the works, and then everybody goes, ooh, let's see Demolition Man 2. He's hoping that the studios see that and finance it. That's honestly, every time you see an interview and people drop things like, oh yeah, this is in development. Development means nothing. Ignore the word development. What you care about is production. Because you know what? I could honestly say, hey, you know what? I have a film in development because I have an idea for a film that I'd like to make. I could say that right now and not be lying to you. However, that's not the same as 20th Century Fox is making a movie for me, you know, or, well, 20th Century Fox doesn't exist anymore, but you get what I'm saying.
That would be impressive.
Yes. So, but you don't be skirting around the issue now. So what is your thoughts on Demolition Man?
Oh, it's a great movie. I would gladly add this to my collection.
Yes. I do love this movie because notice, I mean, it is so rare to have a movie that genuinely has a for lack of a better term, anti-SJW message, an anti-uber liberal message. I mean, and it's amazing to me that even in the 90s, this movie was made. I could see a movie like this in the 80s, but in the 90s, that's pushing it. Because the 80s was the era of hyper-masculinity. Mm-hmm. The 90s was when we started to start embracing feminization of man. And unfortunately, in the 2000s and 2010s, and now 2020s, could you believe it's the 20s already? That's just crazy. But here in the 20s, it's like now masculinity is viewed as toxicity. And so, you know, that's the sad thing. And Josh, no, we're not watching the new Star Wars holiday special because even I hate that so much that I would not. It's not that I wouldn't put Matthew through it. It's that I would have to watch it too.
And you know what? I've already watched it. So
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And it wasn't great.
No,
it wasn't horrible. It's just
it was just flat. It wasn't. The problem is it was a Lego movie that wasn't funny. You know, the jokes were all kind of just tired and there. The only moment in the entire thing that I chuckled at, I already saw in the trailer, and that's when everybody froze for a second and went, oh, when they saw Baby Yoda. Because that's how everybody reacts when they see Baby Yoda. But that's Baby Yoda's entire part in the special. Mm-hmm. And I was like, come on, give us some more Mandalorian, because that's what everybody loves right now. But no, they showed it in the trailer, and that's all we got in the entire show. That was lame. And the rest of it was just flat and boring. But this movie was anything but flat and boring. So tell me, what did you think of the interesting contrast of the commercials of where we were to the prediction of where we would go to the reality of where we are?
I feel like it's not hard to make a prediction that the government will become more controlling and be spot on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the fact that they were able to accurately predict things like, uh, you know,
Frowning on
gross,
touching is bad. Masculinity is bad.
hamburgers bad.
Yeah.
Cops should just be counselors.
Mhm.
Like that's some impressive stuff right there. And I don't think they meant. I don't think they meant to be like, oh, this is where we're going. I think they just chose something that was so outlandishly.
Right. They were
out
thinking
there.
this could never happen. I mean, that's the funny thing about it, is they were probably thinking, no way this could happen. And here we are basically living it. You know, it just without the benefits of the cool technology and the clean society. You know. But yeah, absolutely. The attitudes of Cocteau and his vision are very much what the SJW movement is all about. It's like, yeah, you know, you refer to anything that is masculine as barbaric, as being Neanderthal, caveman, you know, whatever you want to call them. It's something that's horrible because it's from the past.
And while swearing's okay, you can get fines for using the wrong pronoun.
But yeah, it's offensive, and that's the thing. Like, replace the swearing with simply being offensive.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think they nailed it with that. It's just that they were trying, you know, because who would have thought that, you know, anytime, who would have thought 10 years ago that it would be all about your personal pronouns, right? That's stupid. It's beyond stupid that we've turned our society into, oh my gosh, don't you dare assume my gender. Why? You're old, fat, and you have a beard. You're a dude. No, I'm not. I am a fire hydrant or whatever. You know, it's like, no, you're a dude. Shut up. You know. So so I think that just replace that with that. And of course we don't have the 3 seashells. I want to know what's the deal with the 3 seashells, but
how do they work? Because I have one guess and it is not comfortable.
Yeah, that's the thing. You think of like the scraping action there, and it's like, no, yeah. So there's got to be something else that we're not knowing about. And I don't know if you caught it, but the last line of the movie was Stallone asking her, "How do the damn 3 seashells work?" That's what that was the last
answer.
Yeah, there's no answer, but that's the last line of the movie. So we assume that after that event, he knows how the 3 seashells work. And Daniel, I'm sure they have released some pictures from Flashpoint, but you know what? If the movie's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. I'll let you know when I see it. And I ain't going to talk about it until I know you're into that stuff, Daniel. No hard feelings, but I don't care about anything about a movie until the movie is available to watch. Because, you know, look at how many people with Rise of Skywalker had already decided that the movie sucked before they ever saw it. And it poisoned the well on that movie. I'm not going to judge a film based on set photos or rumors or interviews or any of that when the movie comes out. Because, hey, it's a superhero movie. I'm going to see it. All right? It's not like I'm going to say, well, I'm too good for that because I didn't care for Wonder Woman 1984. You know? No, I'm going to see it. But I'm not going to say, ooh, I want to see all the spoilers. Don't want to see it. I don't want to know about Tim Burton's Batman movies being in there. I don't want to know about whether or not they bring in Tom Welling from Smallville or any of that crap. I don't want to know. And the simple fact is, it'll be exciting. And that's the funny thing. We've lost that mystery in film and I think the internet has done this. We've lost the idea of a surprise cameo. Now we want to know everything before it happens. And to me, that kind of takes some of the movie magic out of it. It's always fun if you're watching a movie and someone shows up that you were not expecting to see.
And frankly, I wouldn't be at all surprised to find out that they're releasing shots from Tim Burton's just to get people all excited and then not have it at all in the movie.
Right. It could be, yeah, it could end up on the cutting room floor, or maybe it was just a divert. Look how many times Marvel has done that kind of crap. They showed footage of Thor with 2 eyes after his eye was ripped out. You know, Marvel is brilliant at that. Marvel will actually film scenes just to throw the public off.
And I love it.
Yeah, and that's fine.
I absolutely love it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally down with that.
Because then someone spoils it for me, but it wasn't in the movie at all, so it wasn't spoiled.
And so, and you know, like I don't know if you heard this, Matthew, but one thing, and I will say, I know a lot of people are like, oh, Thor: Love and Thunder is going to be woke because Jane Foster, blah 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 blah, right? I don't care, right? But I did hear Russell Crowe. You know who he is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Russell Crowe is going to be. No, the Waterworld. How about Gladiator?
Wasn't that Russell Crowe?
No, that was not. That was what's his face? Oh gosh, Dances with Wolves, and he was in Robin Hood. I can't remember his name now because I hate him. He was Jonathan Kent in Man of Steel.
Oh, Kevin
thank you,
Costner.
Yeah, Kevin Costner. Yeah, Kevin Costner.
Okay.
Russell Crowe was Maximus in Gladiator.
Okay.
You know who I'm talking about now?
Yeah, they had the same face in my mind, but I know everyone else.
How could they have they don't look a thing like it anyway. So Russell Crowe is in Thor: Love and Thunder, and the only thing we really know about it is that he's playing Zeus.
Oh,
which I'm like, okay, I'm totally down with that because I know in the comics that Hercules is an Avenger in the comics. And so if Russell Crowe is in the movie as Zeus, then they're not going to bring in Zeus without bringing in Hercules. And and Hercules is one of those characters that is almost as strong as Hulk. So so I'm like thinking about, okay, here's a good, strong character to bring into the MCU that nobody's expecting. Unfortunately, knowing Russell Crowe's Zeus, okay, yeah, that might spoil a surprise, but hey, I'm cool with that. Now, do I want to hear every detail about how, no. That's plenty of information. That's actually enough to get me interested in the film. You don't need to tell me 75 other things.
Right. But I know a lot of people are worried that Love and Thunder is going to be like just horrible SJW because that's what the source material is. And to them, I'd say watch The Falcon and the Winter Soldier because the Falcon becoming Cap was very SJW in the comics and marvelous in the show.
But here's the problem with that, though, is there are a lot of people that do think Falcon and Winter Soldier was total woke fest. Because it wasn't, but my problem with it, and I know I said this in my little review that I did, it's the fact that, look, we've said, everybody in the Phantom Menace, and I mean everybody in the Phantom Menace has said at one point, it's not about the gender or the race or whatever, it's about we want good stories. It's a good story. Okay, can we get past the fact that there was a racist element to the story? That doesn't mean it's a horrible SJW fest. It actually fits the character of Sam Wilson. And I think that they dealt with it in an adult and interesting way. They didn't hit you over the head with it to the point where they were trying to say every white person was bad. They were simply showing what life is like for a lot of black folks in this country, and that it would be difficult. I mean, like I will tell you, Mrs. Antitrekker, she so felt Falcon's problem with taking on the Stars and Stripes, because as a black man, the American flag is a mixed bag at best, because they look at the American flag and they see the symbol of the country that forced them to relocate to this country and be slaves, and then they free them and say, guess what, we did you a favor, right? And so that's a tough pill to swallow for millions of people in this country. And I think the way they dealt with it in that series was good. I thought it was solid. I think the speech was a little drawn out. Like you said, it should have been more like Edgar Friendly's speech at the end of Demolition Man. Make it short and sweet about how you want to smear Jell-O on you and whatever. That's fine. If that speech had been half the time, it would have been twice as effective.
Yeah. And honestly, the first thing that people were worried about, the bank scene, I felt like that highlighted more the indifference of the displaced. So it wasn't even about him being black. It was setting up the fact that you had all the flag smashers who were now suffering because everyone was back and we're setting up all the old systems.
Right. Well, I think it was a mix there. And I think that because to a lot of black people, they're like, yeah, black guy going into a bank, he ain't getting a loan. You know, I don't, and so that too, and I think it resonates on multiple levels, and that's good writing right there, because if you can look at it as, yeah, black guy walks into a bank, end of joke, yeah, he's not getting a thing. However, it's also the fact that with the blip and all that, you know, that the world was in an insane place, and you know, could the bank realistically give him the loan? Probably not. But it was, you know, and then you think about, I mean, if he's a superhero walks into your bank. Do you make an exception for this guy? Well, you shouldn't. However, and this is, I know that this is, you know, set some people off because they got mad at me for saying this, but I do think it's true. If that superhero, instead of being Sam Wilson, was Steve Rogers, they probably would have given him the loan. And, you know, that's it's the reality of where we live. Now,
they wouldn't have given Scott Lang the loan, though.
No, because Scott Lang is, yeah. I'm not saying any white guy would get the loan, but if it was Steve Rogers, right? They would, oh, it's Captain America. You're good for the money,
yeah.
You know. So, yeah. But you see him, it's like, whatever. Anyway, Mrs. Antichecker is reminding me of how late it is. Let me see.
Yeah.
And all right. So with that, we're going to wrap it up, and I'm going to continue to twist Matthew's arm until he commits to doing this every week to help a dying old man, and he'll feel guilty eventually, I promise. But thank you, especially those of you that were able to super chat and help out. I do really appreciate it. That's life throws a curveball at you sometimes. That's all I can say. But thanks for hanging out with us and watching the movie. And Matthew, thank you for being willing to watch a movie that you didn't know what it was going to be, even though I knew this one was an easy one for you. But next week, don't count on it.
Oh gosh. No, I think this is fun. It definitely has an air of mystery.
There you go. All right, guys, have a good night, and don't forget, Matthew Shortshanks is out there.
Oh yes.
And there's his face.
Oh, throw me a bone.